Welcome back to SnowRunner. You join us today in Black River. Now, there's a good reason we are back in Black River for the time being, but we'll talk about that in a second. We are driving the Pacific P16 to start with. We also have the International Transtar just ahead of us, as you can see. Now, the mission we're looking at is logs to the workers. This mission involves taking 2 loads of long logs, delivering them to the quarry and the drilling site in Smithfield Dam. Now, we had 2 choices of places to go to pick these logs up. That was Black River and Drummond Island. Smithfield Dam itself doesn't have any long logs, so we had to make this decision, and I figured Black River is closer to where we're heading to than Drummond Island. It also meant I didn't have to navigate the silly big mountain climb bit. So I thought, yeah, that'll do. We'll go Black River. As most of you know, we hate that climb. So we're going to start in the Pacific P16. We're going to pick our long logs up from the log station here, and we're going to pick our route. So I think we'll just go the quickest, straightest route we can, which is mainly main road, to be honest. The big choice is how do we get out of the log station, but I think it's fairly simple. We follow the main road round, over the bridge, through the town, and straight to the actual transfer point. Transfer point? Tunnel. I don't really know what to call them. Tunnel, I think, is the right one, isn't it? So for this, I think we may as well just go straight. I'll just mark up so I know which way I'm leaving. Don't really need any other markers on the map. I think we'll be okay. Get a bit stuck. That's not helpful. There we go. That was a really bad start. Imagine if we had just messed that up. But there we go. Okay, we're off and running. So I brought everything over from the Smithfield Dam that we needed. The log carriers. So we've got the log carrier bit on the back of the truck that you can't see at the minute. Logs are resting on. That cost us 14,100 credits for the log carrier rear. We already had the log carrier front on both the vehicles we could attach, so that was easy enough. I picked these 2 vehicles, the International Transtar and the Pacific P16, mainly because they're probably the 2 most powerful trucks we have. So I thought they should make this job pretty easy with using these, especially the Pacific P16. And I didn't want to use the same truck twice. Hence why we have 2, and that's been common quite all the way through this playthrough so far. We always try and change vehicle whenever we can, so this was kind of my thinking here. Okay, we're just about to join the main road. This is the only bit that's really dodgy, and this is the join. Can be a bit jumpy. Let's see if we can get this right. Go far to the right hand side here, just to keep it as straight as possible. The worst thing that can happen is we tip. And this is the only point, I think, that I'm worried about. In Black River, anyway. Still on this side a little bit. I think we're okay. Let's try to take it easy. I think we're good. Yeah, we're golden. We're good. We're off and running. So that is the Pacific P16 on the way to the Smithfield Dam tunnel. We'll call it tunnel for the time being. And from there, we're going to head to the drilling site. That'll be the first one, and then the International Transtar will take over the quarry. The reason I decided to do it that way was because I don't think the P16 would be very good in the quarry. We've had an issue with it previously and they're getting stuck. It's quite wide, especially at the back, and I didn't want to risk getting stuck. So I thought the International Transtar, which is thinner than the P16, or I believe it is, it could be a misconception on my part, would be better for the quarry. Also, the Pacific P16's turning circle is really bad, and the quarry can have some tight turns if you're not careful. Straight over here, just wanted to check we're heading the right way to make sure we didn't need to turn off there, but we don't. Like I say, this should be straightforward through Black River. I don't envisage any problems other than navigating the rubbish trailers that I've left behind, like that one. But yeah, I don't think there'll be any major issues because there's nothing really that's going to be in our way. It's a straight run, fairly simple. We've done it a few times. Never with long. I don't think have we done long logs to Smithfield Dam before. I can't remember now. I was looking through the missions remaining as well. So after this mission, we have 1 main mission left, and I think it's 5 tasks, and they're all in Smithfield Dam. So we're going to be spending a bit of time in the Smithfield Dam doing them tasks, and then we do the final main mission, and then it'll be the contests, and then we leave. So I think, all in all, with the way the episodes are working, I think we'll get there before episode 100, and it's Alaska next. that's fingers crossed. It's going to depend on how we get stuff done, but I think we should be on our way pretty soon. The final mission we've still got left to do though is Mahusiv, and I mean Mahusiv. We may have to split that into a couple of episodes just because they are some journeys and a half. So we'll see how that goes, and especially if I'm using different trucks all the time as well. See, it took me quite a while to get these trucks over. I didn't think at the time. I did it in the end. So what I did is I drove the Pacific P16 from Smithfield Dam with the trailer on the back all the way to the drilling site at the log station in Black River, and then afterwards I thought, hang on, why did I do that? So I stored the International Transtar in the garage in Smithfield Dam, transferred it to the garage in Black River, then collected the trailer while I was in Black River, and then drove there. I think it was a lot quicker than driving from Smithfield Dam to there. So I made a bit of an error that way, but other than that, everything got there absolutely fine. 2 log trailers is a lot of money, so we do want to sell these back as soon as we finish the mission, because that is a lot of money sitting on trailers. Okay, that's fuel redone. We don't need a massive amount of fuel. I'm not worried about it, but if we're passing, it makes sense to try and just make sure we fill up all times. But I don't envisage a problem with fuel, to be fair. But that's the hope. Anyway, but we're making good progress. It's going to go down the hill now until we get towards the bridge. Which way do we need to go here? So it's a right-hand turn straight on is the farm. Right-hand turn, and we're good. We'll follow this now until we get to the T-junction where the bridge is. And then we can cross over the bridge onto the main part as well. So yeah, mission going pretty well so far. Still a little bit to do, but we're good at that. Now, in the last episode, or the episode before last, we were talking about a mission, a game that I've been talking about with Stu the Gamer, and he did put in the comments the name of the game. If you didn't see the comments, the game we was talking about was Roadcraft. Now, if you haven't seen anything for Roadcraft, go and have a look about it. It is incredible. It looks incredible. It's coming out 2025. And the whole premise is you're restoring sites damaged by natural disasters. It looks like you not only deliver things like you do in SnowRunner, you actually go and build the roads as well to deliver things. It's an all-encompassing. It looks incredible. In my mind, I'm thinking we do it maybe live when it releases next year, depending what is currently on the go. It may be I don't do a vote, we just do it live and see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. We've got to wait till we know release date. Once we know release date, we'll check everything else. Because obviously we've got Assassin's Creed now in February next year as well. So that's obviously got to wait for that. We still don't know when the second game. I can't remember the name of it. It's going to bug me because I don't know the name of it either. The walking simulator. Death Stranding. Death Stranding 2 was originally due for release this year, but it hasn't happened yet. So I'm not too sure when Death Stranding is releasing, to be honest. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if anyone else has. I think originally it was meant to be this year. But I've got a feeling now it's going to be 2025, unless I've missed something and it's already been announced in 2025. But the way it's going, I can't see it being this year. So as it stands, we've got the new Assassin's Creed next year. We've got Death Stranding 2, which we'll do on release as well. Obviously, depending on what's going on and you guys voting. But there are games occasionally we don't do votes on. I just want to do them, so we just do them. We still have the Mudrunner Expeditions games to do at some point, but we're looking at that probably after SnowRunner. It's unlikely to win a vote for doing it live, I don't think. So because of that, we'll do it after SnowRunner. And that will just carry that on. But we're a long way off. I don't even want to estimate how long we'll be doing SnowRunner for, to be fair. No! That was a mistake. So I thought I could just go straight through that water there. I know it's coned off. Rather than take the long route round, I just thought, we're big enough and strong enough to go through. And we did some damage to the P16 as we hit the bottom of the water there. Just a little bit too fast. I think if we'd gone slower, could have avoided the damage. But going through wasn't really an issue in the end. But yeah, we could have avoided damage there. It's annoying. It's one of those things, but it shouldn't affect us too badly, I don't think. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, there's a few. So normally we vote on what comes next live, and we vote on the episodic games as well. Sometimes I'll just make the decision, but generally we vote. And but for a couple of games, I probably will just say we're just doing them on release. If I really want to do them, and I think Roadcraft might be one of those. Obviously, depending on release date, because yeah, Assassin's Creed will take priority in February. Is it out in February? I think it's February. Death Stranding 2, if it's not this year, next year. Yeah, Roadcraft. And then let me know in the comments of anything you're looking at that's coming out end of this year, next year, that you think we should be looking at. I try not to watch too many trailers because I don't like spoilers. I don't really want to know what's going on. We do most of it blind. But yeah, if there's any games that you think could be worth a go, either on release or it's going to be an old game that's already been released that we haven't looked at or haven't even put in a vote yet, let me know and I'll add them to the vote list and we'll sort it out when we need to do the next vote. But yeah, we're a long way off ever doing expeditions, I think. But they're still adding DLC to this. So because they're still adding DLC, we're still miles away. You got to think, how many jobs per area? I try and do more than one job in an episode if possible. But Shooter Gamers let me know there was one mission he did that took him like 6 hours. There's no way we're doing that in an episode. So I'll have to figure out a way of condensing that when we get to that anyway. But yeah, if it's taken us in what 70, 80 episodes for Michigan, that's roughly 2 a week. At the minute we're running 1 a week, but 2 a week. That's a lot. That's 40 weeks in theory, just for one area. And then yeah, and then if you want to do expeditions, Mudrunner expeditions, that's a long way off. Essentially, it's a game I really want to play, and I could buy it myself and play it in my own time. But I don't have much on my own time because every time I get a chance to do anything, it's generally recording, editing, that kind of stuff. I don't really play anything for myself. I've bought a few games for myself recently. I bought Power World because that shadow dropped on PlayStation the other week, so I've done a little bit of that in my own time. But again, I get an hour maybe in the evening or half an hour because I start getting drowsy, and I'll do a little bit of it, but not enough to really get into it. My little boy's played a bit of it as well, but that's about it. That was the last one I bought for myself, and it was cheap as well. It was only 20-30 pounds, so half the price of a PS5 game normally. And there's a chance it won't be around very long because if they win their lawsuit against Nintendo, I don't know what's going to happen to the game. So yeah, Power World I've done a little bit of. I keep thinking adding that to the vote. To be fair, it's one of the survival. I don't know how well it'd do live because you need to build and stuff. Maybe we'll do it live. To be fair. I don't know. I might add it to the next live vote and see what happens. It's down to you guys. But yeah, I don't think episodic would work as well. I think live is really the only way of doing it. Some games would work episodically really well. There's a story to tell, or there's chapters that's easy enough to just disseminate between. But not every game really does that. Not every game is compatible. But we've reached the end of Black River. Let's head to Smithfield Dam. So we're in Smithfield Dam. I was just waffling away as we was driving there. But we're now in the main part of the mission we need to do. So we're going to head back towards the garage, towards the farm. I think we'll just cut through the farm. And then we need to get to the drilling site. So for this, I think we should take the main road. I don't think there's any point taking a risk going down any of the side roads there, especially, is pointless, I think. I don't want to do that route because that's a pain in the butt. Hence why there's a trailer there. Yeah, I think we go round and just use the main road all the way to the drilling site. It's a longer route, potentially, but I think it'd be fairly easy. Especially once you cut through the farm. So we'll just put the marker down so we know we're taking a right-hand turn there. And then we follow this straight down. Another marker here, just so I know not to turn off. This isn't really what I use markers for now, just knowing when to turn off and which way. Okay, Pacific P16 back in Smithfield Dam. Long logs on the back. Drilling site is the next place to go to. Again, it should be fairly simple. I think the only area that could become dodgy is the farm entrance. We're going to go through the water. There's always a chance that could become a bit tricky. Other than that, I think we're good to go. I think. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that's my games that are coming up. So yeah, anyone that's got any suggestions, things to add to a vote, or things we should just do live, do let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll add them to the votes. I know I was being asked the other day about main live stream game vote. we've still got other things to do, finishing off Star Wars Outlaws. The Avatar DLC we're doing next, whenever Star Wars Outlaws finishes. We've got the DLC to Star Wars Outlaws in November. That's coming up soon as well. And then there'll be a vote after that, I think. Because I think that between those two, that should take us to November. There's a half term coming up as well. So that also causes an issue. I think that begins next week, but I could be wrong. I'll let you know on the channel anyway what's happening. But yeah, there is a half term coming up very soon. I know they don't go to school very long, do they, before they get days off? I think it's a week, but I think my boy breaks up on Friday rather than Monday, which means we'll lose Friday. I need to have a look at that, actually. I've reminded myself that I need to look into that, because I don't really know what's going to happen there. So that's something we need to look into and work out how it's going to affect the channel. If I could get rid of this drowsiness, we could go back to even streaming, but it's just not happening. It really isn't. So I'm not too sure what we're going to do about that. But yeah, a massive thank you guys that have joined us for this series or any series on the channel so far. You know, we've exceeded even my minimal expectations, gone out the window as well. And if you haven't seen it already, the last and final episode of Mafia 3 went live the other day, Friday night I believe. It was the final episode of Mafia 3 as Lincoln finally finished his path of revenge against the Meccano's. Go back and have a look at that episode if you haven't seen it. It is a pretty good episode, and that's Mafia 3 finished. So we've done the Mafia trilogy now. Mafia 4 is due out. I don't know if it's next year or 2026. They are working on a fourth Mafia game, so we'll be doing that at some point as well. I've really enjoyed the Mafia games, to be fair. I did enjoy Lincoln's story. Okay, this is the point. Let's actually talk about what we're doing, shall we? This is the bit I'm a little bit concerned about. So steady we go. I'm not worried about tipping as such. I'm worried about getting stuck. I know the Pacific Pacing thing is fairly strong, but it is still there's a chance to get stuck. Why did I say it? Okay. What do you mean no visible winch point? That's not good. Just no range, would that help? No, nothing. Reverse. Come on. We've done the water route quite a few times once it was suggested to us by Shooty Gamer, and it's not been too bad. But yeah, it's the only point on this route that I was a little bit concerned by, and I'm proving to be right at this point, which I didn't want to be. Right, managed to go back a little bit. Come on, just even slowly go forward. I don't care if it's, you know, little tiny steps at a time. We've got a winch connected. Where I didn't mean to do that. Just made all the logs go down to the minimum as soon as I unpacked it. Okay, that was a mistake. That kind of kills the realism, doesn't it? I suppose. But we never moved though, so to be fair, although it went down to 3 logs, which is the minimum you need to count as a load, it still counts. We didn't. It's still there, isn't it? I hate losing realism. Anyway, let's crack on. We are making progress. We are getting through. It's just slow, but I think we're okay now. I don't. Maybe we're going to a little bit of a dip at the start bit. Trying to hit these little islands, just because that way we get a bit more grip rather than just the water. And I think we're okay. Let's dip a little bit. No, we're okay. Go forward. A bit more. Come on. It's definitely slow going. The second route's a lot better, really, to be fair. Until you get to the quarry itself, and the quarry itself is a nightmare. But yeah, we made it through. So the water bit slowed us down a little bit, but other than that, we're all gravy. So we just need to continue on through the farm. And then we'll drive past the log site. That's here. That doesn't do long logs. Only, I think it does medium. And then we take the long route, get round all the way to the drilling site, and then that'll be the first part of this mission done. We are getting this mission done in this episode. I'm determined. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit it down in the end, but we'll definitely get it done. Might lose, I don't know. I don't want to preempt myself. There's no point me saying now I'm going to do this, because I might change my mind when I come to edit and stuff, so ignore that. But we'll get this mission done today. That's what I'm not guaranteeing, but that's what I'm hoping for, aiming for, should be the right word. We are struggling a little bit on this hill here. This is just outside the farm, and we are struggling for grip. I'm surprised we're struggling here. I thought Pacific should be okay. We just Just need a winch, something that's going to stay upright just to pull us forward a little bit. I don't know what it is. I know it's muddy, but it's not that bad. Not compared to some areas. We're struggling. I don't know if it's the weight of the logs on an incline like that could be a problem, I suppose. Because there's a lot of weight on the back of this. The Transtar's pulled heavy stuff before. It's not that. Not the Transtar, sorry, the P16. It's pulled heavy stuff before. It's not been that much of a problem. But I didn't think it would be. But it is, yeah. I think it is the trailer. It is the weight that's causing this. Once we're on the better roads, I think we'll be okay. This mud, you can see the shine of it in the lights, and that kind of tells you how wet it is. So, open underground is not too bad. We're getting there. Still just tiptoeing though. There's no speed to it, which is frustrating. We should be getting close to the turn now. Once we get that, I think it's tarmac for a bit of it. We've got to get some speed and back up. Fuel wise, we're doing okay. No issue with fuel. It's the hills. It's little, it's not even them harsh gradients, isn't it? Like, we're having issues here with the P16. I thought it was pulling power. This wouldn't happen. It does seem like it may be underpowered for this, which is surprising considering I think it's got the biggest engine here. So, I'm not sure. All we can do is just keep a little bit at a time with PB. Okay. Road's kind of sorting itself out now. A bit of speed picked up, which is nice. You see it's drying off a little bit in different places. Okay. This is where we're turning. Right-hander here. Went a little bit too fast there, but we may slow down. What's all that tarmac? The lovely, lovely tarmac now, the mud. It's so nice. I'm pretty sure there's a tarmac bit here, somewhere. Either that one wrong and there isn't. I was hoping there was. I don't know if there is now. It's now, I'm doubting myself. But the mud's definitely a bit better. So as long as it stays fairly firm, we're okay. But yeah, I didn't think this would struggle like it has done. But then, I think that happens with a lot of the trucks. You kind of don't know how much you're going to struggle on some journeys until you start doing it. And then you kind of realise, hang on. It's not as nice as it seems. This is a tight turn. Come on, swing it round. Definitely wouldn't make a lorry driver in real life. This is not for me. So, yeah, I could. It's more the fact that you're looking around, looking at how long your vehicle is. I just couldn't deal with that, especially corners. When you see a bus take a corner and the way it does it is incredible, but yeah, no, not for me. Just couldn't do it. I'm curious to how the turning on this, how that mirrors up to turning in real life though, in terms of lorries and stuff. Because you do have to take some things wide, some things tight, and that does all affect your cornering to some degree. I wonder how that all affects everything. I don't know. But we're slowly doing this. It's taking time just because we're struggling a little bit with the ground and the weight. As I say, this was completely unexpected. It worries me a little bit for the Transtar, to be fair. Because have we got stuck with the Transtar? I can't remember if we got stuck with the Transtar previously, but if you haven't, it still concerns me. Not sure about that one. All we can do is just keep going and see what happens. We are making progress, which is the important part. It's just taking time. We are getting there. Come on, up and up a hill. Over the hill, come on. There we go. That one wasn't too bad. Yeah. A bit of a downhill section, I think. Not a little bit, a tiny bit. Can't remember these right roads in Smithfield Dam, so I really can't. I thought I could remember them, but I just don't. I don't have any remembrance of any of these places. Smithfield Dam, more the back areas. Although we've driven them in the past, but I just don't remember them. It's weird. The drowsiness is starting to kick in. But I think the reason it starts to kick in when we play this, and other games as well, the slower points like this, because it's slow, that kind of does it. It makes me then really struggle to keep my eye open. But suddenly, generally wake myself up and found. But yeah, other than that, I don't know what's causing it or why. The big run to the top of the mountain or hill, whatever you want to call it, that really is bad for sending me to sleep or making me drowsy. I don't know what it is, up and down it. I just struggle with it. Another tight turn as we're passing the house, and the cables in the poles nearby, they're really making our life a little bit trickier, but I think we've done okay to get around there. And we're actually nearly there, we're nearly at the drop-off point, which I'm really surprised we got here. I've been waffling away, trying to focus on what I'm doing, but without focusing too hard because I didn't want to become too drowsy. And we've got there. That's why waffling works. Helps you get to where you're going. We are getting there. Slowly does it, but we're there, nearly. Right. Getting ahead of myself. I can see the yellow marker, that's the thing. There's a drop point. We're there. We're not. We're there. We're not. Obviously, if we'd done this in the day as well, I think that would have made life easier. I think the night time does make things harder, but I try not to skip time either, that's the thing. As most of you know, to be fair. But I think daytime would have made this job a lot easier. Just because you can see the road better. We've had some small errors, nothing that's really cost us too much, but it's all because it's dark more than anything else. On top of my drowsiness, which doesn't really help the matter, to be fair. But we've made it. We're here. We have made it to the drilling site. Just going to get around this final corner and then go round the side of this, I think. Yeah, it's round the other side. And this will be the first load of long logs. I've been just chatting away randomly, but we're there. And this was the easy one. The quarry was the one I'm not looking forward to, or is the one I'm not looking forward to. So that's going to be an interesting one. And that will be coming next. But first we need to drop these logs off, which we can do in just 1 second. Here we go. So that is logs to the workers. First part, delivery of long logs from the logging station in Smithfield Dam, delivered to the drilling site in Smithfield Dam. Now for this next bit, we are going to do the run from Black River to the quarry. Now, because we've already done the road from the logging station in Black River to Smithfield Dam Tunnel, we're not going to show that. We're already here. We're in Smithfield Dam, just arrived in the International Transtar 4070A. Now, I did consider showing the drive from the logging station in Black River to where we are now, but I thought, what's the point? We've done it in the P16. I can save a bit of time on the length of the video. It's the end part that's important here, and it's how we get and deal with the quarry itself and that part of the journey. But do let me know in the comments if you'd rather have seen the journey in Black River as well. It would have meant the video would have been roughly 45-50 minutes long, but I would like some feedback if possible from people. Do you mind the fact we skipped it, or are you happy that we did and it's the important part, that's the main bit to show? But I'm going to leave you now and go back to when we were driving the International Transtar 4070A to the quarry in Smithfield Dam. So we're just going to get all the way to the garage, past the farm, over the dam, and the quarry's there. I'm not putting any markers on, I don't think we need to. We know this route quite well. It's fairly straight. The only bit I'm worried about is the quarry itself. Mainly because it can get really tricky down there, especially some of the corners. The Transtar does corner really well compared to the P16, which is why I picked this to do this, and the P16 to do what the drilling site. It's mainly on the cornering, because I think in the quarry you need that. You need that ability to manoeuvre. But I'm still a little bit concerned. It's still the quarry after all. And we don't have to go through the water to the river this time, because we go across the dam. So that's always a bonus, isn't it? We don't have to do things like that. But we're making good time, I think. The journey from Black River didn't take too long. And we didn't really have any... Well, there were no major issues, as I wouldn't expect there to be fair. It was all fairly simple, to be honest. So we're just making our way. We're about to get near the farm here. We've still got the trailer on its back. Left there as more of a monument to our first mistake when we first came here, more than anything else. I should really hook it up and sell it, but it's more of a reminder of how we messed up very early on in Smithfield Dam. I like having that there. Okay, so on the farm is the farm, on the right is the farm, sorry, on the farmers' fields, so we don't need to go through there. P16 had to go through the water and managed it in the end. International Transtar though, not worried about it. Doesn't need to go through that. We're all good. We'll stay on the tarmac, shall we? That's where the mistake. I think the P16 was slow, was off road, and it shouldn't have been. I don't quite understand why. I think I need to look at and figure out. It may have just been my driving, it may have been the weight. I'm not sure, but the Transtar doesn't seem to be bothered with the weight. I know we're on tarmac, so it doesn't matter. But the weight doesn't seem to be an issue for it. Yeah, we're getting some decent speed going on the straights and things. So yeah, pretty happy with our journey so far in the Transtar. As we approach the dam itself, and we'll cross the dam as the day is getting on, and we have a decent view, I think. A bit misty in place, I suppose. Take the corner very carefully, not doing any damage. Yeah, we're all good. Right. So over the dam, we're going to go past the truck station and the warehouse. Past both of those, across the bridge, and then it's coming up on the left-hand side, the entrance to the quarry that we're going to use. There is a little bit of a dodgy bit just beforehand. That could be a bit scary, dodgy. We'll see. But crossing the bridge. There we go. Truck station on our right hand side when we need to sell the trailer. I say truck, I meant trailer station. Warehouse just past that as well. Now we've got to make sure we line up straight here because this could potentially be an issue as well. No, it seems to be fairly simple actually. I thought that could potentially be an issue, but it wasn't in the end. Straight over. Okay. A bit more off-roading now. They're coming up. So we need to avoid these. So previously we've hit those and it's actually done a massive amount of damage to us. We didn't need to go off-road. I thought we was going to have to go round them, but actually there's enough space there to get through. No, it's not that left hand. It's this left hand, I think, coming up next. Yeah, let's get the map out and have a proper look. So yeah, it's this right in front of us here. That's the turn into the quarry, and we just need to find out which way we're going to go. Do we go down to the bottom, or do we try and go round fully and come in the other way? We have gone through the bottom before. My concern with that is that turn into that bit there is really steep and tight. With a trailer like this on the back, that's probably not a good idea. Now, the whole run around the outside to get in the middle also has its issues. But I don't know, I think we need to go round. I don't think we want to take that straight down route. I think the turning will be too tight and potentially will cause us too many issues. But it may just be a split second decision when we're nearby to it. Because once we're past it, reversing back up is going to be a nightmare. So once we go past that point, we are committed. We shall see. Just going to keep going forward. Like I say, the International Transtar isn't as powerful as the P16, but is definitely better in some situations. There's a bit of a lean going on there. Back end of the trailer is kind of going into the quarry there. That's a little bit of an issue. It's liking the swing out a little bit at times. So far, so good. Yeah, we are very, very good. Okay. This is when choices need to be made. Is it this bit or is the next bit? Just down here, I think, is when we need to decide. But I think we're going to skip it. I think that's the safest route. But all this is very tight. So we've got to keep our wits about us here. Make sure we're focused on what we're doing. As much as possible. If I do go silent, it's because I'm about to mess up. So we should be okay. That's quite tight through there, but nimbly done by the International Transtar. Okay, round and follow. Round and follow. There we go. So far, it is going better than I expected. It really is. All we've got to do is just get to the middle. Right, we're getting closer. Now, there is one concerning part coming up as we approach the middle, is the turn into the middle itself. Now, from what I remember, it's quite a tight turning, which could be an issue with the trailer we've got. this is where maybe it will tell us whether we should have took the other way or not. We won't know until we're there. And there's no room to turn around. It's a bit larger than some of these entrances and exits currently, but it won't be anywhere near as blah blah blah. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. The corner itself is quite tight. It's not. So everything else is quite wide compared, although not very wide at all. And it's this corner here that I'm worried about. So we have to take this nice and slow. So be a bit careful around here. We're so close to finishing this. I don't want to mess this up now. The worst time to do it. So can we corner this and not flip it? To be fair, that was easier than I expected it to be. I thought that would be really, really hard, but it wasn't. Yeah, don't know. Can't tell you. But anyway, we're here. We can drop off the long logs, and that is logs to the workers complete. A job well done, I believe. But do let me know in the comments what you think about us not showing the journey from Black River to Smithfield Dam for the International Transtar after we've driven it in the Pacific P16. But until next time, thank you very much for watching this episode of SnowRunner, and we'll see you next time.